In this video, I'll show you how to turn Google Ad leads into live calls automatically and close more deals without any extra follow-up required. So coming up next is a short snippet of the demo, so stay tuned.
Based on your preferences, here are 3 apartments currently for sale in Toronto that match your criteria. 1, 19 High Z Crest, $899,900, 3 bedrooms 2, 24 Ensign Pool, $925,000, 3 bedrooms 3, 66 Watson Avenue, $959,000, 3 bedrooms.
So systems like these have actually managed to improve the lead conversion rates by over 30% for real estate agents and improve the agent productivity by over 60%. Since these tackle challenges such as high volume property inquiries, time consuming repetitive tasks, and ensure that you don't miss any single lead at all. So let's go through the system walkthrough and how this works. So let's start with the prompt, the base prompt that we have. After that, we'll move to all the automations, and then I'll be covering the the Google Ads setup side of stuff. So yeah. So the prompt is almost kind of similar to my other videos. You can check that out. But yeah, this is what we have in this prompt. Basically, this is an outbound engine that will again respond to the Google Ads submission, and this will also fetch live properties from a particular API called this Accesso API. You can check it out. It's you can use Zillow API. So we are using this one particularly. Okay, so let's start with the prompt. So first of all, we have given it some context. It's good to have some context of what the company is about, address, stuff like that, right? There's some context and the operating hours if you want, right? You can also add these in the knowledge base, right? So this is also option. Okay, moving on to the persona, basically how the voice agent will respond, like what kind of persona it has, what kind of role, skills, right? The tone. So for the role, it's a role we are given it, an outbound real estate assistant, right? Objective is to re-engage leads, qualify the needs, and book appointments. This is the main objective. Again, objective depends on your use case. For this use case, this is our outbound agent, so these are the objectives that it needs to fulfill. And these are some skills and the tone. So tone, we would like it to be friendly and professional, but confident. So however you want the tone to be, like, you can add that. And this is some context. So context can be on submission of a Google Ads, what kind of data the form has, right? So stuff such as property type, any other information that you want the agent to have on the lead, you can input it over here in the context of the customer. So this is basically the property type that we are getting it from the Google Ads. I'll show you how we actually get that to the voice agent, but yeah, these are some context, and you can add whatever context you have. You can add over here the customer's name, or you can add any property that he might have selected, right, in the ad. So yeah, that's on the context of the customer, or I mean this should be of the lead, right, not customer. So yeah, of the lead. Some specifics of how the conversation will follow, or how you want the conversation to flow, right? So this is important. So you may ask only one question at a time. So are you still looking for a property, what address, what this, that, and don't just dump the lead with a bunch of questions. Ask them one at a time, so it's comfortable for the lead, right? So you may ask only one question at a time, and wait for a response after each question that you ask. So I include always this in each of my prompts. So this is really important. And coming down to some rules of the voice assistant, some rules that you want to follow, how it responds, greets, confirm the details back, book appointments, etc., etc. So these are the rules. So first we are going to greet and clearly introduce yourself, right? And pull any data that we have, and after that we will qualify the leads based on the property type that he might have selected, what location that he wants, what type of will it, does he want to buy the property or rent it, pre-approval status, if it's if he wants to buy, whatever that you want, do add it over here, to qualify the lead. So this is a really important step, probably one of the most important for real estate agents, right? And obviously confirm the details back to him, right? So this is also important. So if there's any mismatch, we can correct that on the spot, so there's no error happening on the back end. And handling your objections, and never break your character, and there's also one more thing: if there's any questions that the lead asks that is out of scope or the agent is not aware about, do let the lead know that you'll get back to him as soon as possible by asking your human agent, so there's no disconnect. Always add that, always add the step, so it's important, right? So these are some rules. So coming back to chunk, right, this is the steps that we will follow. Basically you can think of this as a rough script, right? Yeah. So first of all, we'll start with the greetings. So, hi, this is whatever the name of the agent. For this, we are giving it Simo from this company. Just following up on your interest in us. Do you have a quick minute? So always ask that. Confirm the interest and qualify the leads. Are you still looking for property? Is it residential, commercial, anything else? What kind of area? So these details will be passed to the API, right? This property fetcher that I will show you. It will come to the N8N and we will send these details. So yeah, I'll look out that later on. So these details will be passed to the API so that we can fetch live properties. That's really important, and we'll qualify the leads, such as are you pre-approved. Again, if the lead wants to buy, right, obviously you don't pre-approve for rent, right? Yeah. So what's your budget range, any must-haves, when are you hoping to make a move, so as soon as possible or not. And yeah, so whatever steps that you want to add in your script, do add that over here. For this particular demo, these are the steps that we want to follow. So greetings, confirm the interest, it's a residential property, commercial property, looking to sell, buy, what kind of area, so that we fetch the live properties. That's important. And after that, qualify the leads, budget range, what kind of amenities, number of bedrooms, pre-approved or not, etc, etc. Budget range, that's also really important. After that, thank them and then call the function, right? Again, this is important. Don't let the lead know that you're calling a function, so it sounds really robotic that calling this function now, don't do that. So always mention this. Sometimes the AI do go off course and say that calling this property fetcher function, so it's important to add this, so calling the function. And after that, I've given it a separate section for function. So you have access to a custom function called property fetcher that will return a list of top matching properties. So these are the parameters, location, price, minimum number of bedrooms, status, is it a condo, townhouse, apartment, and this is a example usage. So do give it an example, so the AI knows how to call the function accurately. And also mention what kind of details that you want the lead to be aware about. Not all the function, not all the details, maybe only stuff such as the property name, price, and number of bedrooms. Maybe that's on you. So I've only mentioned these three details, right? And after everything, after, let's say, the lead confirms that particular property, we will schedule appointment and we'll wrap up, right, and close the call. So any other particular details, such as how to proceed to the next steps, office hours, any particular documentation, right, do mention that after scheduling appointment. So right, okay, this was the prompt. And yeah, next is a property fetcher, right? So this is connected to N8N. I'll show you the automation soon after this one, right? Stay tuned. this will be a post. Basically, post means that we will be sending some information to this particular API, right? uh, and this will be the format. So we are sending what kind of apartment it is. I mean, yeah, and I mean, is it apartment or not? What's the location, number of bedrooms, minimum price, is it a condo or not? Like, it's a boolean, right? Yes or no, right? So maximum number of not maximum number, the maximum budget range, right? Is it a townhouse or not? And the status basically for rent, for sale. So yeah, these are the information that we will be sending to this N8N automation. And right, so we don't have any knowledge base you can add. I always advise all the businesses to add knowledge base, so it really 10x's your voice agent by a lot. It becomes really accurate according to your business. So yeah, this was the prompt, and next we will be going to our N8N automation, right? So right now we'll be covering the Google Ads setup, right? So in case you already have this done, you can skip ahead. And if not, you'll want to come to your Google Ads and you click on assets and click on this plus and create a lead form. Since I already have this, lead form, create, fill up all the details that you want in your particular ad, right? Up to you. And over here we would want to add a webhook integration, right? So scroll down. Over here you would have your, again, in export leads from Google Ads section, you would want to add your webhook over here and your key. So where this webhook comes from is our N8N automation. So this is where the N8N automation comes in, and this is the automation for our Google Ads, right? So it starts with, again, once the lead comes across the ad, he or she fills up your form, and upon submission that data will come to our N8N webhook. So copy this particular URL that you see, right? Just copy this, and this is the key. This path that you see, right, that will be the key, and you need to add it over here, right? So this one and this one, right? So this is our webhook. This is where we get our data, and this is what the data will look like, right? And this is just a test run that I did. So this is a test data. You would have all your column data such as full name, email, phone number, any other form details that you have, how many ever form inputs that you have, that would come over here. In my case, it's only one. What kind of property that you're looking for, which is apartment, right? So which is on the demo. So we would have all the details over here, and also stuff such as lead ID if you need any further details, right? So yeah, after that, what we would want to do is modify this data a bit so that it's more usable for a voice agent, a Retell AI voice agent, right? So what we are doing after this is using something called code node, right? So let me show you. Add node code, right? So you can run custom JavaScript or Python code over here. So add that, and this is just a small snippet that I wrote. Basically what it is doing is just it's taking everything and just making it in a more clear and usable form, right? So that's everything that this is doing. And if you want any other default data to be added to your your form data, that you can add it over here. So you can add defaults or enrich your system with more data, right? Up to you. So this is what this is doing, just just formatting the data and just cleaning up a bit, it's more usable, right? Okay, after that, once we have this particular data with us, there's one more code node that we're using. This is for, again, this is just a validation node, right? It's always good to have error validation in place. So if for some reason we don't have the user's phone or the email, we'll just throw error, right? Throw new error. Otherwise we'll just return the item. So this is all that this is doing, right? So probably if there's a, you would want to have a certain other workflows also in place, right? So yeah, after everything, after these three nodes, we call our Retell AI API. So this API is this particular API. If I come over here and come to the Retell AI API, and this is a create phone calls, right? And these are the details that I am sending over here. Right, so this is the format. There's a from number, right? The number that it is called from, right? And the to number. This is the number that the lead might have entered in your Google Ads, right? So this is that number. This is the agent. Agent is basically this particular agent ID, right? And some dynamic variables such as your property type, right? So whatever that you want to add from your lead form to your voice agent, that you add over here, right? Property type, whatever information that you want, right? And this is a Google Ads. So after this will trigger our outbound call that you heard in the demo and that you saw in the demo, right? And do refer to the documentation. It's pretty amazing documentation, really well detailed, and you can find all the body authorization, what kind of key values that we need, right, all over here. And after that it will use this particular agent to call our number, right? So if I this also has a particular number in place, so that's what you see over here in the from number, right? So this is the from number. And yeah, that was it for the Google Ads. Next we will be covering the property fetcher. Alright, so next we'll be covering the property fetcher that you saw in our demo, right? It calls live properties through Zillow's API and connects it with you. So it really enhances the lead conversion and the lead satisfaction, that lead gets the live property details right on the call, right? It's almost really hard for a human agent to do this fast. So that's the advantage. This is the flow for our property fetcher. So we are using something called Accessor API. So let me show you that. Accessor Zillow. So this is the particular API that we're using. You can check it out and use it if you want, right? It's really amazing. So do up to you. And these are the pricing. So yeah, this is what we're using, and they do have a really amazing documentation. So let me go ahead and show that for you. We are using this particular API, which is search properties. So they have a bunch of parameters that aligns with the Zillow. So you get live properties and really accurate properties. So you can have whatever parameters that is up to you. Status, that is for sale, for rent, recently sold, right, like lot size, right? Was the minimum number of bedrooms that we're using? Is it a condo? Is it a town hall? Is it apartment? Does it have a city view? Minimum price, parking view. It has a lot, right? Also location. This is a required, right? So this can either be a zip code or it can be just a city, right? So in our case we used a city, Toronto, but in your case it can be a zip code also, whatever, right? So we're using this API, and let me go ahead and show that to you. This is the flow for that. So this is our webhook, and basically this is being called an property fetcher again, which you saw over here, right, in the functions. Gets all the details such as, let me go ahead, and these are all the details that we are passing from our voice agent to our N8N automation, right? So these are all the details. After that, we call this particular Accessor API, right? And you need to use your Accessor API key. Again, I have removed that, obviously. And I'm using this particular API, search properties, that I just showed you, and these are all the query parameters, right? You can do this dynamically. There's one option like Before that, you can add a open API node. It gets all the parameters and just builds up your query parameters, and you're basically a JSON object for you, so it's dynamic in nature. For the purpose of this demo, we have just use these particular query parameters, such as location, what's the price, minimum and maximum price, right? Price range, basically minimum number of bedrooms, and we'll just fetch page one. Status, is it a condo, townhouse, apartment, right? Whatever query parameters that you want, you can add it over here, right? So this will fetch us a lot of details, as you can see. It's a bunch of details, and it's accurate, up to date. You also get stuff such as your your image. If you want to send the lead image, and the SMS, you also have your URL right for the Zillow, so you do have that. After that, we are doing if you already, basically this is a validation node. Basically, if we got a result, right, if for some reason there are no property available, we'll just return basically a response that no property is available. But if there is, we'll come over here to another code node, right? So this is the purpose of this code node is get the data which looks like this, right? It has a lot of data. We don't need all these particular data for the lead, right? We just need some particular data, right? So basically, we're using this particular snippet that I wrote, and this particular snippet just compresses your data, cleans up data, usable for your voice agent. So it gives us your address, city, state, zip code, price, your image, right, if you want to use, and your Zillow URL. So all the relevant details that you might want to have, and being informed to your lead, these are all mentioned over here. So basically what we're doing is we are accessing the results and getting the top 5 results. Also, we don't fetch all the results, right? In a call, it's we have limited number of times, so we just want to show the lead we have properties available, we have some good ones available, and if you like any of these properties, do let us know. But if you don't, do reach out, book a call. We'll find the properties right according to. So for a call, it's usually good to have a limited number of properties being told to the lead, right? 3 or 5, that's a good number, manageable number, right? So we get the top 5 results, and we just format it, get these particular information, right? So after this, once you have the data in this particular format, right, we aggregate it. So basically, if we format it a bit more, we put it in a particular field called data, so it's really much more usable, right? So it's recommended to use aggregate node once you have your data formatted. So a recommended flow is, you fetch your properties from the API, you use something called something like a code node to format your data. After that, you aggregate it, right? So you have your data in a really nice usable format in a single key, right? So it's really easy. After that, once we have this, we just pass it to our webhook. This is a response body. So we just pass back all those details back to the voice agent that you saw, you heard in the demo, and this particular response is passed back again to this, which is again told to us, right, which is over here. Once the response is received, summarize the top 3 matching properties back to the user in a natural language, including price, bedrooms, bathrooms, and street name. Mention only the whatever details that you want, and do not mention any URLs or any other details. So yeah, this ensures that we have a system that is foolproof, that once the lead clicks on your Google Ads, submits your forms, it is contacted right away. So it ensures that there is 0 leads missed, right? Absolutely 0. All of them are contacted, they speed to lead, and all the calls are booked, right? You can either send a calendar link, or you can book a call right to your calendar, right? So it's very foolproof system, and it ensures that your any real estate agents never miss a lead. And yeah, we have covered your voice prompt, right? A detailed voice prompt. There's one thing that you want to add to the voice prompt to even increase our success percent is examples. So example conversations that you have with your lead, do add it over here. So so after this you can have such as examples, right? So add around 2 to 3 examples, 2 to 3 well defined and proper conversation examples. You can even add your transcripts right over here, so it just really boosts the success percent of your voice agent, right? Really makes it foolproof, bulletproof, right? So this is a voice prompt that you want to follow, and I already showed you how to configure your Google Ads lead form and add your webhook over here. Your Google Ads flow, right? Pretty straightforward. You have your 2 particular formatting code nodes that is essential to have, and your property fetcher. So this ensures that your lead gets the live properties right on the call. Again, this is almost impossible for a live human to do, right on a call and fast. So yeah, that's all the systems that we had. And yeah, so if you like this video, do give it a like, and if you have any queries or any questions, do leave it in the comment section. I do make sure that I will respond to each and every one of you. And if you want similar systems built for you for your business, do reach out to me and book a call with me through the link in the description, in my Calendly link, or you can even message me on my LinkedIn. That's again in my description. So yeah, stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching.